There are thousands of DOS games. Most of them are terrible. I play one selected at random with a 20-minute time limit and record it live. This is the result. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new season of a Random DOS game show.
The human race has grown at an incredible rate.
Oh my!
Exploration and colonization
It looks like a lengthy cutscene. What do we do with those? We skip them. And we're off to the Hydra base. Right. Cool. So, this lady talks over the top of everything. So, you can turn her off in the options. But this is Shattered Steel by Bioware.
Real winners don't use purine antagonists.
You said it. And this is an interesting little game, and I'll walk you through it. So you've got your basic sort of menu system here, but let's just go on campaign. Get a nice little cutscene, and that takes us to the launch mission thing. So again, it's very similar to the way Wing Commander and LucasArts did things, but I don't think they're taking influence from Origin and LucasArts specifically. I think here they're more trying to emulate somebody else. You'll see in due course. Let's check the holo projector. Operation Norwark. Destroy all enemy units. Okay. Planet view. Yes, that is next mission, previous mission. So let's have a look at the mission briefing. Hey there.
I hope that your metabolism is well rested.
It sure is.
It will be severely strained in the near future, I fear.
Oh.
I will be your guide in your future endeavors here. I am the Artificial Intelligence Network Interface Coupler Mark III. You may call me Anek if it makes you more at ease to use personal names.
Anek. Okay.
I will call you Scout from this point on for simplicity. For your information, I am programmed with the latest in social interface skills, all for your comfort.
That's very kind of you, Anek. So, you got a briefing?
With my superior logic and your animal cunning, I am certain that we will together be able to meet our future challenges successfully.
Okay. You want to tell us about the briefing?
Pay no attention to any unsubstantiated rumors that you may hear of problems with previous versions of the ancient.
Oh, so I skipped the briefing because it was quite lengthy and talkative, which is understandable because we're playing a Bioware game. But here, you can see, hey, it's a two-legged robotic thing. So, let's get going.
Tower, if at all possible, Scout.
You use the arrow keys to move. And something is firing at us. Let's go to the communications tower and see if anything's attacking it. Yes, they are. What's that? Hey, stop that. Why is my mouse not working? I'm in severe difficulty now. It's a good thing I can go back to the settings at any point, isn't it? So let's do that. Options, mouse and keyboard. Yes, that's selected. Okay. So what's the issue? Customize controls. Yeah, looks all good here. So let's try that again, shall we? And one of the things I did like about Shattered Steel...
Try to save the communications.
There we go, the mouse is working.
Possible, Scout.
Yeah, the actual interface itself is quite fun. And you can see the pitch and yaw of your mouse to determine where you are. And it's left button to shoot and right button to use your secondary weapon. So let's take out this mech. Yeah! Okay. Is anything else attacking the communications tower? Is that a bad guy or a good guy? It doesn't appear to be firing at me. Aha. So maybe that's on our side then. There we go, we dealt with that. And now This guy here. I think. Maybe?
All enemies have been
Yeah!
Mission
We
accomplished.
destroyed it! Look at that. Fantastic. So, press escape to exit. But I just want to point out while I'm here, you've got nice little 3D models there, but look at the top when I move the mouse. There's a reason for that. Mech fans will understand. It's sort of, you're rotating your head, but your legs stay in the same place. So if I'm rotated over there and move forward, I actually go to the side. If I'm rotated here and go forward, I just go forward. Does that make perfect sense? Of course it does. So we destroyed all the enemies, and we've new equipment. Mission complete. Very good. Exit.
Excellent work, Scout. You
Thank
have
you.
temporarily stopped the advance of these strange creatures and prevented them from wreaking havoc on the nearby colonies.
Yes, yes, yes.
The company is quite concerned about the details of this assault.
So, you know, it must feel like, oh, you're skipping ahead too much here, Lawnie. Why are you doing that? I want to point out the real sort of problem with Shattered Steel. And the real issue with Shattered Steel is not in the presentation. It is a lovely soundtrack. It has nice menu graphics. All the animations and cutscenes are good. And the voice acting is excellent. So that narrows it down.
I just received report of colonists fleeing the Lennox outpost, sighting a group of alien buildings near their home.
Okay.
Most impressive, given the short time frame that...
So let's just exit out of that and launch the mission and see what happens.
carefully approach the enemy compound and inspect its contents.
Okay, so we need to find the compound. So, whenever you play a mech game, there is one consideration you really have to make, and that is the engine as good as Mech Warrior? I think the compound's over there. Based on my radar. I'm probably going to mess this mission up. But this is the problem that I was going to harp on about with Shattered Steel. Oh, I missed with that shot. Oh dear. Oh no. This is not carefully inspecting anything. Right, uh-oh.
Primary weapon escape.
So, your primary weapon, which is the light laser, will recharge, but it takes time. And then your secondary weapon, which we picked up one of, I believe, in the last mission,
The
it,
enemy facility has been inspected.
uh-oh,
Good work, Scout.
time to get out of here. Uh-oh. But yeah, the engine isn't that great. The combat, compared to, say, Earth Siege or Mech Warrior, it's not as good. Uh-oh. And of course, the mechs in question aren't as good. Look at this guy. He's frozen. There. We'll take care of you. I'm not entirely sure what the rest of my objectives were, but that's okay. I just wanted to give a sort of brief showcase of Shattered Steel. It is out. It is available on GOG and Steam. It's like a sort of third tier mech game, you know? All the presentation is in the right place, as I've said before, and at the risk of repeating myself, that kind of thing would go on and continue with Bioware, which would lead them to greater things than simply games published by Interplay as a small developer. It's an interesting sort of look at where they started, but, you know, the limitations of the engine and the combat make it a bit of a struggle to play. The other problem that I had with it was it can suffer from slowdown. This is a thing. You have to be very careful with your cycles. You have to be very specific. It's a bit finicky, you know? If you don't configure it right, it tends to do this and slow down. So when things get a bit close, they go in slow motion, and then it's almost like the game is taking a breath and then releasing it, because as soon as they die, the frame rate just jumps up to like over 60 frames a second. And I've heard stories from various reviews that the GOG version and the Steam version have trouble with hit detection. And it's a real shame, because I feel if the engine had been slightly better and, you know, the combat had been slightly, you know, more like the Mech Warrior series, then this, I may well have changed gaming history. So maybe I'm not, you know, so worried about it not being as good, because ultimately, you know, we got the Bioware that we ended up with because of this. So, you know, maybe I shouldn't be like, oh, in an alternate universe they would have made a brilliant Mech Warrior, you know, style game and then never bothered with all the RPGs they gave us. Maybe that's not a nice thing to wish on them. But yeah, it's one of those games for mech completists. If you've played all the Mech Warrior games, if you've played all the Earth Siege games, and I believe there's one called Star Siege, I might be wrong about that. If you've played all of them and you've run out, then hey, Bioware made one in the mid-90s, and if you can forgive it its faults, then yeah, there's a campaign here with good voice acting, presumably a good plot as well, and an excellent soundtrack. It's just a shame that the actual engine, the most important part of the game, it's not up to scratch. And if you like me waffling on over the top of DOS gaming, feel free to take a look at the hundreds of other videos on my channel. And if you like what you see, you can always subscribe. And if you really like me for some reason, you can become my patron. Look at all these fantastic people. Far better pilots of mechs than I could ever hope to be. But yeah, this was, it was unfortunate because I knew its reputation going in, and it's a shame because so much of what I see here is done right. It's just fallen at the final hurdle at the most important part. Still, we know what happened after this. They went on to make Dragon Age Inquisition. Oh dear. Until next time.